Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Hive community call. And today we will be trying to figure out how to find the right AI tool to do the job for you. So please bear in mind that this call will be recorded. So the recording started just now. So if you want to say something that you'd like to cut out eventually, reach out to us and we'll cut that out of the
or don't say it.
Yeah, like probably that would be an easier way for everyone to tackle that. But yeah, if something happens, you know what to do. So today our agenda is the Powered by AI presentation by Sergey, who joined us today. And the second half of the call will be a short discussion. So I've got a small topic to chat about, but we'll see how that goes. So a couple words about Sergey. So as we discovered before we started the video recording, he's from Moldova and living in Portugal right now. So he's a senior software developer building powered by AI in public. So he's like a software developer by day and indie hacker by night, and probably by weekends as well. By vacation and like every other times when he's not working on the daily job. So and he's on a mission to level up to 3K monthly recurrent revenue with his application. So we are really curious to to figure out what that is and how to use Powered by AI to discover new stuff, to be able to empower yourself while working with different applications, and how to basically use the platform to like extend the boundaries of what you can achieve. So right now I'm giving the stage to Sergey. So yeah, please share your screen right now.
Yeah, sure. Second. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, let me know if you see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. Where should I start? Okay, I'll just tell you a little bit about how this started.
Yeah.
Okay, so on my daily job, I'm a backend developer. So I am developing mainly in Java, and that's been like, there has been like 3 years since I didn't develop nothing in front end. So I think that this project was just a side project in order for me to train my skills. But then, I don't know, I started putting more and more in this, and it has been an IE directory. So yeah, so the goal here was to put the tools to learn about and improve my skills on front end, and also to develop this IE tools directory. And how it can be used, I think it's pretty simple here. It's nothing difficult on this one. So it's a database of IE tools, right? So as you can see on the main page, we have a list of tools that users simply submit. And here are some sponsors, and here are options that a user can subscribe to the newsletter. Let me explain maybe a little bit of the cards I have here. So for example, let's take this tool that it's user doc. Here are a little bit, of course, the title of it, of the option of it, it's freemium, it's paid, or the payment type. And of course, the keywords that assist this tool. So if it means like this tool, it's an AI assistant, it's has a key like business, or can help you with your productivity also. For example, Mr. Scrapper here, it's a web scraping tool. a tool that can help you web scrap the websites. Spell here, it's an I think it's an AutoGPT or something. It generates tasks for you, something like that. On the right side, we can have suggested keywords. Oh, of course, we have some trending keywords, suggested keywords. We also have a filtering by most viewed on, or the newest ones. As you see, this one here is a bug. I need to fix this because suggested keywords must be random, but these are taken from the trending. I must investigate a little bit. It also has some grid layout. You can switch here, and if you prefer like this, you can check on the tools like this. And you can have list layouts, but here I think you have more information like creators, and you can see also one feature that we have here. It's the latest prompts, or we will be back on that.
Are people submitting prompts as well? Are they? Is it prompt information as well?
Not yet. I did this in order for people to submit, but there are now not. I think I don't know. Maybe they can know about this, but I try to encourage people to submit their prompts also. But many of them prefer to come here and just see what's happening, what prompts there are. But of course, they can submit the prompts also. I have a form to submit what they want to.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go back here.
So are you working with the companies that are submitted? Do you connect with them at all or speak with them as they
many of them, yeah, many of them I speak with, but many of them are indie hackers, also indie makers that they are seeing what I'm doing on Twitter, and they just come here and submit their tools.
Yeah, and from what I see, like you've already told about UserDoc, so that's a tool made by our community member Chris. So like that probably
yeah, I
was
saw
the way.
him. Yes, I saw him in the Teams chat, not Teams. Sorry, in the Slack.
Yeah.
I saw him chatting in Slack. Yeah, and he decided to also to promote his tool here. For example, let's see the details of the tools. Here you can see the images. We can have a little bit to understand like what if the prices, how the page it looks. A little bit of information, features and stuff. Also, of course, the person who submitted was clear. It wasn't him. I don't know. Maybe it's someone that works for him.
Yeah.
On the right side, you can upvote. Oh, but for upvote, you need to be logged in. So let's go back. And of course, you can click on visit and you'll just be redirected to the page itself.
That's cool. Yeah, and from like the product perspective, do you know anything, like, do you know how many visibility those tools are getting from your platform? Like, do you have any
you can go here. Yeah, you can go here on analytics. I don't have any. It's a good idea to put here some more analytics. For example, here you can see that it was used like 82 times, when this means that a user clicked here for 82 times, and it was visualized like 234, but it was saved 0 times. You see, it's a little bit insights, but maybe a little bit improvement here in order to show this, to better show this. I think it will be nice also.
Sure.
Yeah, that's cool. And so like, is there any like, I guess, metrics or like, so like what I'm trying to say is that do you analyze the metrics behind those applications, like how many people went like joined that tool or logged in or like anything like that?
No, I cannot do this.
Mhm.
This is a really external thing, and I cannot this information. It's really, I cannot provide this because
Okay. Yeah, that
but many insight came from other users that used already Power. Like for example, Lindo, this application. I am speaking almost daily with the creator of this app. Okay, so
We
this
don't
is
see
how
it. Are you typing in something? We
search
can't see
works.
we can't see what applications you're showing. We only see the browser user doc.
yeah, that's, you probably shared the browser window, but not the screen itself, or maybe it's on another screen.
Oh, Lindo AI, there it is on your screen there. Okay.
Oh, but you don't see the tool that I'm opening.
No, we don't.
Anyway,
yeah, let
let's
me
skip that.
explain. Like this tool, like for Lindo, yeah, he also was he is developed by Babak here. I'm speaking with him daily. It's also an indie and sites like, oh, you're powered by just gave me some clients. Like we have almost 50% of leads that came from Powered by they sign up and buy the product. Like this was nice insight, but I cannot put this information here because I really don't have access to their metrics or their tool. Or
yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, what was the idea behind like doing this? So yeah, before we'll jump to like the actual question that I've got from the user a couple of days ago. So what was the idea behind the Powered by AI? So you've mentioned that you've started it 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and it was like kind of a pet project,
I started. Yeah, I started it in December. And it was like I said, like this. I know that this AI hype started like last year, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm improving here my skills. So what I will do in order to do it? Okay, I'll do an directory. Like I will start. I started noticing a lot of tools that appeared. Right, it was a boom of tools. So I was always them bookmarking them on Google, and I'm like, okay, let's do. I saw some directories on normal frameworks or normal tools, and I'm like, oh, I'll do an AI tools directory. Of course, in the process I started noticing a lot of people doing this also. I'm like, oh, there is gonna be a lot of AI directories, right?
Yeah.
AI tools directories. But I don't mind. I think when I'm building this, I am also learning a lot of things. I'm absorbing all this, what I'm learned. And I'm trying always to improve this in order to bring more information, in order to bring more things. I also have some plans of a marketplace. I have plans to, I don't know, to do some more improvements here.
Let me ask, are you doing AI in your day-to-day job? Is that part of your, or are you doing this on your own? That not powered by AI, but just using...
Unfortunately, no. In my company right now, we don't do AI. We do crypto, we do software banking.
Okay.
This kind of thing.
Okay, so this is completely on your own.
Yeah.
Looking,
and like I'm saying, it helps me to update myself with technology, also to improve also my skills and stuff like that.
That's cool. And I've got a couple like more product related questions. Like like as I mentioned, like as you told already, like it all started like a pet project, and you've got plenty of competitors in that area. So the one that I'm like using from time to time is there is an AI for that. So that's the actual name of the
Yeah,
platform.
yes,
So,
I know.
yeah, those are like there are plenty of competitors there. So like from a product perspective, have you been thinking about what might distinct you from those products, and like what you can offer that they can't, for example?
I know they offer a lot of things because they do this for their living, right? I'm doing this for on my part-time, and basically right now they offer more things than powered by AI, you know. So I don't know if this application provides more value, but what can I say that what I provide, it's the tools for makers itself, from the indie makers, you know. And these are tools made by people with the same situation I am. They are building, many of them are building it in their free time. And I think those tools are, I think 80% of the tools that are here are made by indie makers. And I know that the tools that are promoted here are getting a lot of clients from here. So I don't know if there is an AI tool for that provide the same.
Okay, so yeah, that's a pretty tricky question from
I don't know because I didn't see all the tools they have there, but they have a lot of tools. Yeah. Oh, and one more thing, the tools that are here are totally hand created. I have it. I select them by hand. But like people are putting them, but I personally go there, I test the application, I see how it works. Is it a good fit to the powered by AI or not? And I think maybe this also is a good option.
Yeah, that's
right now I don't know how do they select their tools, but I know that they have a ton of them, a lot of them there. So
yeah, and since you're like a long-term member of our community, I've seen like you're like you've been asking different people to like add if it will be okay to add their software to your platform. So like
yes, because sometimes there have been sometimes I really enjoyed the tool, like for that coding one. I don't remember the name, but it was, yes, it auto generates code and it makes a tool for you. It was pretty nice. I liked it a lot. Yeah, and of course I'm asking if that tool can be added on the website.
Yeah, that's cool because like from this point of view, people are like simply sharing their stuff that they are building with the community, and after that, like you're from time to time picking that, putting on the internet, and other people can discover that. So that's how this like kind of marketing works. And like this is extremely impressive because like one single message in our Slack community can lead to like much bigger visibility for that tool in the media space. So yeah, that's like pretty cool. And do you mind sharing? So like I've heard you've had a really successful product hunt launch. Like I can see the badge in the middle of your screen. I guess there was like 400 something upvotes there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we had like almost 450 upvotes and more than 100 comments. We finished third in a day and 28 on the week.
Yeah, that's amazing. And from this point of view, can you predict how much visibility, for example, WASP or UserDoc can get out of your platform? For example, if you will list them on your platform, like is it
I
possible to?
don't really know, but I think in that day, let me check here. Maybe we can select. I launched on 18 here. You see the peak. Maybe we can switch to this day. No,
yeah,
I cannot do it. But what can I say? It's like from here to here, my free tier went off, and they didn't count these days. Because this is free. I'm trying to put the minimum to have the minimum money spent on this. So I'm using a lot of free tools, you know. So here I can say that user doc had like almost 200 page views on. I don't know if it was on this day, but.
Okay, got it. Thank you. So yeah, I guess we can jump to the question itself. So it's been like kind of a question that I've seen several times within the community. So yeah, is there anything? Yeah, thank you very much. Like, is there anything you wanted to mention, or like I can proceed?
You can proceed, yes.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I'll share my screen real quick. Yeah, so I've seen that question within the community several times. So at least once I've seen a person been asking this question, and like I've had to tag almost half of the community because a lot of people are like trying to find an efficient way to use AI in their daily job, like not only day-to-day life, but like during their like professional tasks that they need to perform during their working hours. So like this is the latest one that I've received. So this is from like, probably I'll copy paste this message into the community, and the author might add some additional context to that. But basically the person is like a solo founder. So he's been trying to figure out how to use large language models to make like to make himself a little more efficient in day-to-day chores. And the first one was trying to work through with the OpenAI API, and he tried to use a low-code tool to give him a form with a persona dropdown and get user stories written for that persona as the output. So basically, the person tried to put in the persona data into the large language model and get user stories out of it. So I've seen that question several times within the community when people were asking about how to deal with their product management stuff and how to produce user stories. So like we've got several successful founders in our community. One of them is on this call, and like Sergey. So like, for example, if I would be this person who has this request, how should I tackle this problem with your platform? So for example, I'm a solo founder and I've got this problem. What should I put into the search bar on your platform to fulfill my needs there? So like some hints maybe.
Yeah, do you have are there any user story applications in powered by AI?
User stories, I don't think so, but I think I can have management tools. So if you're trying to manage your time or your day-to-day chores, right?
Yeah.
You can start searching for management tools, try to understand what the directory has, and to look if it's a fit for you.
So basically, there's like I can simply jump on the platform and try to find for like something related to user stories and figure out, is there a tag related to that or something similar, correct?
Like, you can jump there start typing like personas, right? I see we have a tool called Persona Wizard, Everland, Kaya, BitchNet. Also, we have tools management, Mind Genie. I don't know what kind of tool this is, but you can start looking at it. So yeah.
Okay, got it. So yeah, and from what I see in the chat, Joel mentions that he can think of at least one cool user story generator. So that is probably like a thing that Matt can comment on. So Matt,
Sure.
can you?
No, I can even show it real quick.
Uh-huh.
Why don't I'll do that here.
Yeah, well, yeah, 1 second. Sergey, do you have Matt's user story generator listed on your platform? Can you?
No, I unfortunately don't have. Why I don't have
Okay,
it?
well, you'll have a quick demo of it right now.
Yeah, you know, you can submit this. You just go there, submit tool, and that's it.
Oh, perfect.
1 minute to submit.
So when you go here, you log in with a one-time password, and you can start with a new product idea. Yeah. These are very ones that are very easy to just click and put in there, but you don't need to. You can type in your own product concept or the description of the product that you're talking about, and then you get to a place where then you can start to see what kind of user personas what kind of features this application might have, right? So you may look at it and say, okay, there's submitting assignments. This one in particular was for online homework, right? So we may want to submit assignments, or we may look at video tutorials, things like that. And then we come through and say, okay, let's look at online submission of assignments. Right now, it's brainstorming the types of features that you may need and the types of roles that you may need. So you could call these personas, if you will. And so this might be a student learner. You can edit this as you need to. So maybe we're just going to call this student instead of student learner. And then it'll go through and start to brainstorm what user stories in terms of the narrative may be worth reviewing or pursuing. It kind of gets you past the blank screen or the blank sheet of paper problem. And so let's see if it actually works. I thought I clicked it, but maybe I didn't. There we are. So then it gives you some user stories as a starting point, right? And again, this is not permission for any person to take their brain out and give it to AI. You have to, as a product manager, you still need to evaluate what it's producing, but it does get you to a point where you may both have, the ability to write a better user story, at least in terms of the narrative, and also to think about what features perhaps may be relevant to your application. And sometimes it can actually help address it can give you some ideas that perhaps you hadn't considered before. And so you can save these and share them. We actually used this tool, User Story Generator, which is a free tool. There's no cost to it. We use this as a research tool for us, just to understand what people were using it for. I don't really care about the ideas people are submitting or what the results of the stories are. I was trying to figure out how people use it and see value in it. And we use it as a research tool for the tool that we're actually building, which is called Sinfonia, which is a way of, you'll see actually this incorporates many of the features that are in User Story Generator. So it's a separate application. And you'll see that it looks very similar. There are some things that are very similar, like, for example, let's do the online homework one that we just did. But now what we're doing is we're, again, moving through, selecting the type of user that may be, again, may be relevant. So I don't think we're going to have that one. And I'm not really interested in doing mentors right now for this particular one. So we'll get rid of that. So I'll just say a teacher, an instructor, and a student. and we go next. We get now a brainstormed list of features that may be relevant for this application. And we're actually working on the prompts. This is in production right now, but there's some prompt work we're doing. It will group these together in a way that it seems to make sense for in terms of categorization. And then what will happen is you'll get this now a listing that you can start working through. And of course, you can move things around. We're breaking down problems, say, or categorizations of problems, right? So we want to say there's going to be a feature or set of features for automatic grading, for online submission of the homework, the progress tracking for students. And then you can start breaking it down, right? So imagine we're doing, let me break this out a bit because it's saying online submission of an assignment. One of the things I had to do with OpenAI was tell it not to abbreviate. Sometimes it abbreviates just for the hell of it. I don't know why. And then you can say, okay, great, online submission of homework. So I can do an online submission of an assignment. I may also say I want to view my previous submissions. And then at that point, you can say, let's break that down a bit further. And let's get some sub-items breaking down that feature for a student. Nope, not school administrator, student. And now it will say, well, it says log into the application. We're going to assume that's already taken care of, right? But now I can say view all the homework assignments, select an open assignment, upload that assignment, submit it for grading, right? So those seem about right. And it starts breaking it down into this level of detail. And the objective is that you as a product manager can use this to assist you as you move forward in the definition of the product requirements. And so at this point, this is actually not writing the user stories. However, we have that capability that we can add in, kind of like we had in User Story Generator, where it writes the narrative for you. But we thought it was more important, and our research showed it was more important to capture the first and second and then third levels, eventually kind of work through that process of breaking down a problem into a set of features that can be used to eventually be built and address that problem for the user. So anyway, that was it. That's my answer to the question. And it just so happens it sounded like a softball setup, but since he asked a question about writing user stories and tracking product requirements, this was the way that we did it. And he also was asking about personas, and so you could look at it in terms of previous submissions for a kind of user, but you could also say, let's make this one view my students' homework submissions. And then I could break it down and say, but that's going to be for a teacher, or the teacher instructor version, right? And so now I can see, all the list of students, view the information about their homework that was submitted. And so now we're looking at it in terms of that particular persona, right? And those features that are relevant to that one. So anyway, I'll stop right now, but that's my answer to the question. And I only answered it because it's exactly the problem, or pretty close to the problem we're trying to address.
Yeah, I guess that's like exactly the problem that we've been talking about. And by the way, like from what if I recall correctly, Symfony has been in a closed beta, and like, have you opened it to the public?
No, but they can request an account if they go on the website on Sinfonia.site. So if I go there real quick, you can request an early access account.
Okay, so and how much time will it take to get the access?
Well, it depends how quickly one of us is nearby our computer to review the submission and actually grant it. So
yeah,
like Sergio here, we're hand reviewing.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Joel, I'm happy to see you joining our call like at last. So yeah, you raised your hand.
Please.
I'm glad to be here. It's good to see you guys. Sorry I can't be on video right now, but Matt, I was curious from your perspective, how'd you make the decision as to make it completely open versus, like a limited access granted kind of thing? Because I'm kind of going through the same thing for my own business right now, and we're on like an exclusive wait list. And so I'm kind of curious what your perspective was on the decision for that and some of the things you considered.
So it's not meant to be free and open for forever. In fact, it's not open source. It's just that I have I have a beta right now where people can sign up. They basically have to request an account. We check them out to make sure that they're legit and let them in. But the idea is this is going to be a paid SaaS platform. But what we're also doing is the people that we want to work with who are using the platform, who are using Sinfonia, I want to understand how they're using it, right? And do research with them. So it's not it's free, but I want to talk to you, right? And see how you're using it and use that feedback. Because that's very important to us, right? I started Sinfonia, the concept years ago because of the position I was in product. This was before AI ever hit the scene. And I had to put together what are effectively maps like this, right? A user story map. And I had to try to say, well, but this is for a particular kind of user. And these features are all related to this kind of user. Exactly the problem that the person on our community had asked. And there wasn't a tool out there that did that. So I've been, working on this for some time. We started building it more recently. And I still think there's a lot of value in it. Well, there is. I believe there's a lot of value in it, but I also need to work with people that are in their day-to-day job who are going to use this and make sure I understand and our team understands the value that they're getting out of it and what might be missing or what needs to be addressed or what are some areas that we didn't even consider are valuable that they do. And we kind of overlooked it and said, oh, that's easy. And they say, no, that's really valuable. So that's the position that we're in right now, but it's not free forever. It's just for the time being.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd be curious to see how you start those conversations. You just kind of pull someone from their email address and reach out to them. Hey, what are your thoughts? Or what's that kind of look like?
Yeah, when we welcome people onto Sinfonia after they request an account, the email that we send, is basically, hey, we'll be in touch. And that's the idea, that we can set up a call and talk about their usage of it.
I just sent them a request. So.
Good. Well, I didn't mean to steal the conversation there. That was an open question. There are probably maybe other responses about folks using different tools. I can tell you that when I did the experimentation before User Story Generator, I was just using the prompt playground for OpenAI, right? And trying to figure out, how do I get at the right good user stories? What can it do for me? And so, if the person wants to go and sit down and do that with the OpenAI playground, that's, a good place to start, unless they don't feel comfortable doing so, or the company doesn't allow it. A lot of the companies don't, may block it altogether. So,
from what I've heard from my friends who were working in big enterprise companies, usually the company management prevents employees from using AI tools because they are afraid that the AI might steal some of the information that they will put into those prompts, and basically AI model will try to learn on their data and eventually share that in indirect manner to other people, for example. So that might also be the case. So privacy is, I guess, one of the biggest issues with the AI industry right now, at least from what I see.
Yeah.
So
it's a challenge. It's a challenge for sure. And we're doing things with our own local models. So we're using OpenAI for some things, but we're also working on a local model that is one of the open language models that has a lot of promise, that the data won't have to leave our little kingdom.
Is it Llama?
Sorry?
What model is it?
I'm not going to say.
What?
I'm not going to say on recording. That's a lot of research we're doing, man. I don't just give that stuff
Oh, it's
away.
okay. It's okay.
No, but
For me,
yeah, there's a lot of open language models out there from the open community, and yeah, hey, thanks, Joel. You take care. And so, yeah, we try to evaluate which ones are working well, and we've done a lot of evaluation for different ones, and find ones that do a good job. And honestly, the sizes of the models are coming down such that you don't need to have an OpenAI size model to do some basic things.
Yeah, but by the way, during our previous community call, we've been discussing the possibility to have like a pre-trained language model supplied by the OpenAI that will have like that has been trained on your data. And I've been chatting with different people what they're thinking about that, and it turned out that it will be like too pricey for now. So like the price to maintain that model and to get that from OpenAI will be much higher than like actually using simple GPT 3.5 or even the fourth chat GPT. So that's also a thing to consider. So probably the price will decrease over time, and like anyone would be able to have their pre-trained model on their data, but like not in the nearest like several months at least. So
the thing is, I mean, OpenAI to some degree, they're the big king on the hill, but the training ever since that they had that ability to with QLoRa to basically create these, take models that were, you know, say they call foundational models, and then fine tune them to the data sets that you want, and you can do it for, you know, orders of magnitude less money than you had to before, right? Equipment wise, you can sometimes get by with, you know, under $100 or $20-$30 sometimes to train these models. It's not a lot if you're using especially models that are smaller, that are, you know, foundation model is really quite good, and then you're just adding some ability on top of it to be able to answer questions a bit better than what the basic model provides. It's not terribly expensive, right? And of course, the open models are great because you run them on your own hardware, and that way you're not paying per token. You're just paying for the infrastructure cost to host it, and then you're set. So it's a cost-effective way if you just if you're willing to put in the time to you know, navigate the open language model community. What's out there?
Grace, hello.
Hi.
So do you have anything to say related to the question? Like have you used any AI tools to generate user stories already, or like have you tried to figure something out?
So that's the thing, right? Where like at the end of the day, if you have like an intended output, it really depends on what assumptions you're making about the input of what is it that I'm providing, where it's coming from, versus is this tool going to give me everything to start from? And so I think for me, it's like I will always kind of lean more of the side of the struggle is worth it if I know like the input myself. And yeah, I think in that regard, like for me, I deter away from the word generator because I think that gives me a sense of like less control, like quality control in a way. But I did have something to add. Sergey, I don't know if this might be of interest to you, but I was thinking of how interesting it might be to start considering your application from the marketing funnel lens. Because from my conversations with different people who want to explore AI tools, sometimes they know like I need a solution to help me generate user stories, but other times they just want to see like what's going on, you know, and they're at a different funnel stage in a way. So that's something that I was thinking a lot about, where like if you want to start with a niche for your application, that might be a good way to see if your application's there to introduce people to the world of possibilities or to build a bit more credibility to a tool that they might already be familiar with. Just a perspective to look at for your platform. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Also, your platform reminded me a lot about Product Hunt too. I really love how there's that community aspect to it of who the creators are, can you upvote it, Yeah, so those
I
are the
had a
remarks
little
I
bit
had.
of inspiration for the content.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
That's
for
great.
sure.
I mean, like use it to your advantage of like if you want to lean more towards a community-led approach, that probably means of okay, the community can really be like brand ambassadors for these different tools, right? So then in terms of the like marketing funnel, they're probably more in the consideration decision-making phase as opposed to awareness. Who knows?
I see what you mean. So grouping them in that way.
Right. And it's also like the information you present about each options, then it's not just about what the product does, but what differentiates it from its competitors or something that's a little bit more fine-tuned to what stage they're in for the consideration.
Yeah, that's a great side note about the community, because I've definitely seen that the Sergey's competitor platform called There Is an AI for That. They do have an embedded community into their website. So actually, when you're trying to search for a tool that will fulfill your needs, there's like a separate tab that will lead you to the community, and that will bring you to the actual people who are using this tool. You can get some information out of them, and that's a really great suggestion, Grace. So,
yeah, this is all great, but in order to you first need to have this community, right? You need to somehow to put them to work, to people to that tool or to express their experience with it or something like that. The thing is to reach those people, something that I am terrible at, like marketing. So yeah, I think marketing is a problem on 90% of the developers. And of course, I have also a Discord channel, but it's a little bit also empty. And but yeah, maybe with the future we'll do more improvements on make the people to have more interaction between them, like you're saying, like there is an AI tool for that. They have their own form website, or have more things to review that tool. So of course it's a lot of job to do, but as I'm saying, only 2 hours per day, it's not it's not enough,
The benefit you have there is that you're spending time reviewing these tools. Right.
I'm
You're spending that time. And possibly I'll give you this. You may want to consider, I'm just thinking out loud, making a little demo video yourself. Right? You're already
like the AI reviewer.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
right.
reviewers
Like,
creating content.
You're coming at it. You're from your perspective, you're a developer. I mean, just think about who you are, right? You're a developer.
Yeah.
You're looking at these tools, and probably, like UserDoc and other ones, for example, may be relevant to you as a developer or working on product teams, right? And imagine if I could go there and not just see the thing that says, here's what this is, but see a little video by the guy who runs your site, this site here, to do a quick 1 minute, hey, this is what I found. This works pretty well. Here's what it does right now as of this date, right? And you make a little video, or even you make an animated GIF. You don't even have to voice it, right? And you just show the key features of it. That's compelling, because then I don't have to go and sign up for it. I may not even have to leave your site too much just to see if it's something I want to use, right? And the other thing I was going to say is that if you're building relationships, and maybe you are, maybe you aren't, with these people that are running these indie projects, then it's different. There's always what I found is that there's quantity and quality, right? And quantity, you can be an aggregator and just suck everything in that has to do with AI, star AI star, right? And it all gets pulled in. But then you may also have a quality approach where you're, you know, a recommender, you're reviewing and seeing, hey, this is really worthwhile, and here's why, and here's who the types of people who should use it. And then you could have 10x less products on your site, but they've been reviewed and better understood by you. All right. And again, 2 hours a night, right? You get to spend time doing what you want to do with it.
Yeah, of course,
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, right now I will start doing more reviews now. I also implemented a blog right now, and I think I will start putting there some feedback on because right now I mainly did reviews on the tools like Wasp, but I did it and by the way, I did some videos, but I just shared on Twitter, maybe trying to figure out more channels or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, just get a channel on, I mean, if you post them on the site and people go there and visit and see, oh, this is great, I get to see, and then you put it, and then you might, you know, eventually might walk yourself into doing a newsletter periodically and saying, here are the new tools I found, and here's my review, right?
And we have newsletter also.
Yeah, that's right. And then you're going to find that and I'm just going to tell you from having done this before, that you're now, those sponsors at the bottom now have more reason to sponsor you, right? Because you're getting their name out there, you're doing more outbound, and you're building a bit of a brand, right? So you don't have to, like, when you say you're not good at marketing, you know, it's like, it's not a, don't
I'm
make
trying.
it
I'm trying.
little pieces, and then suddenly you'll find out maybe you are good at marketing, you just didn't know it.
I'm trying. I really sending newsletters. I'm making some blog posts. I'm making some Twitter posts about these tools, about the tools I found, about everything that it's new in the AI world, like news, things like that. So yeah, of course, also it takes time to do this, you know.
Yeah.
And to do implementations, like bringing the community, like on the website or stuff like that, it's a little bit complicated, you know.
Well, you don't have to bring people
yes,
in that way. Like, you don't have to say, hey, come here and comment. The point was, you could comment on it as the person you could be the first commenter effectively by creating a little GIF or video about what you think of it.
Yeah, sure,
and then
sure. It's a nice idea. It's a nice idea.
And then you tell the person that runs that owns the product, hey, here's what I did, right? And if you have any users that have commented, right, have them come over here and put a comment, right? Ask them to do it, and you start building up some user generated content that way too. So there's might be some ways to kind of grow it without a lot of effort, you know, especially since you're already looking at the tools.
Yeah, and if you will have any worthwhile tools that are focused on product teams, that is something that we would be absolutely happy to see in our community, and like help to share some information and put that into our newsletter and etc. So yeah, keep that in mind. So yeah, it would be an amazing case if, for example, you will create some piece of the content about the user doc and it will make a full circle. So Chris posted user doc information in our community, you've made a review of it, and we will put it back into our community in a form of a review and put that into our newsletter. That would be simply amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're a bit out of time. So yeah, thank you, Sergio, for presenting your tool. I hope to see your next product hunt launch hit 1,000 upvotes in the nearest future. So Matt, thanks for the presentation, sharing the user story generator and the Symphonia. Grace, been happy to see you. Thank you for
missed you. Glad you're back.
Yeah,
yes, happy to be back.
So jump more often into our community. So
you have a great rest of the day there.
Ahmad, hopefully you will see the notes here via the Fireflies AI. So we were happy to see you today as well. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.